And at the same time, while that devastated me, because I saw people in their night clothes and, excuse me, sitting there knowing that their homes were at risk. The other side of me saw our fire and rescue service, and then very shortly thereafter, the Township Fire and Rescue Service come to provide mutual aid. And I was proud on one hand and devastated on the other hand. And I'm sure you can appreciate, as the mayor of the city, I was conflicted because I was so proud to see the cooperation between the two fire and rescue services and the great job they did. I saw one lady in an apartment right beside where the fire had originated who was physically disabled, could not leave, and the firemen went up on ladders onto her balcony, gave her oxygen, protected her by standing around her, while their colleagues were fighting the fire in the unit that was affected. At that time, of course, I didn't know that there would be eventually a fatality and a very sad story about the gentleman whose suite where the fire originated who perished. But what I also knew then, and I watched how the community started to come together, and I mean instantaneously. I saw people come and want to help. I saw our emergency services group and our emergency preparedness team come together, and Ginger Sherlock, who's here tonight, I'd like Ginger to stand up. I'd like Rory Thompson, our fire chief, and Steve Gamble from the township. If you, the three of you, would stand up, and I'd like you to give them a hand. Would you please stand up? So I was so proud to see that, and yet I thought, now what happens to these people? Well, Jeanette Dagenet, who works for the Lions Housing Society, and her team, they were working and busy, and we knew that we had to get the people away from there and get them to a place secure. But then Ginger and her team stepped in and in emergency preparedness. And you know, we often think that earthquake things and so on, it's not going to hit me. But when you see an event like that, where 100 units were affected, and lives of people were changed in an instant in a fire like that, you realize what it takes to make a difference. And what it took was community coming together. Ginger started putting the wheels into place to ensure that we started to find accommodation and all of the things that those people were going to need in a short period of time. And tonight, because this is the Greater Langley Chamber of Commerce, I want to recognize some businesses in our community who really exemplify people who are willing to step up and make a difference. And I think all of you know me well enough that I am so proud of the business community in both Langleys and what you contribute in so many ways besides doing what you do every day. But I'm especially proud of the people I'm going to ask to come up to the front, and I'd like them to come up to the front here when I call their names.